Thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Uh, since you've been heading the CLE, which represents $5.5 billion industry with more than 3,500 members. So under your leadership, what kind of transformation would we see in the industry, in the sector? And what are you focusing on?
Thanks. Thank you, Amit. See, the basic thing that we are focusing on today is to take the industry from the current 5 billion level to the next level of 10 billion by 2025. And that is something that we are working on very aggressively. Um, Unfortunately, with the pandemic, we have lost some time. But at the same time, the efforts did not stop. We carried on doing virtual programs, virtual marketing. We also had, participations in overseas shows, especially the one at GADA, again virtually. Uh, and now that things are starting to open up, I'm looking at being quite aggressive in our marketing. And I think we will very shortly be seen everywhere in the world in terms of wherever there is a show. And, India is going to be a very, very major player in our sector. Uh, and that is what we are really working for. So I see that the industry is headed in a very, very positive direction. Uh, we have major players from across the world looking at India as a sourcing base. Also, I would like to add that, since you asked about what we were doing at CLE, another thing that we are actually doing at CLE is to convert CLE into more of a service based organization because our members need to be given the service. And, that is something that I have tried to focus on from day one. And, that is something that, with, of course, the support of Mr. Selvam here, that we are aggressively trying to do.
Right. Thanks. Since you spoke about that's a huge target, $10 billion. So the product lines have changed after COVID. Pricing has become a key issue. So, in your opinion, would it be wise to target new markets, or should we go for low margin businesses?
See, my thought on that always has been that new markets for sure, but not at the cost of compromising on our current markets. Because if we need real volumes to come, if we need the business to grow substantially, it is going to grow from our existing markets, where our penetration is very limited. You see, when you look at country-wise numbers, in most countries we only account for anywhere between 3 to 5% of that country's imports in our sector, and that is something I think that needs to change drastically. I mean, uh, our next competition probably has 40, 50, 60% in each country, where we have that 3 to 5%. So that is something I would like to see, that a big change needs to happen in those numbers. And if we are able to do that, if we could grow that 3% to 6%, obviously we'll grow from 5 to 10. And at the same time, there are areas and markets and product lines where which can be expanded. I mean, there are, as I said, first there's the markets, but more than that, it's the product lines. I mean, we have a lot of product lines where we have been very, very negligible in our numbers. Kids shoes, ladies shoes. Similarly, in products, there's many segments. So I think these are things that we need to really work on and expand.
To supplement what chairman told, naturally now USA emerging as a strongest market. Most probably we may cross 1 billion US dollar the first time this year. Of course, we are focusing on Europe also. And also there is one area that Asian countries also we want to focus more on these areas. and especially on product lines. We identified around 65 lines, new product lines. So based on its value and marketability. So through KPMG study, we have come up with that 65 lines. These lines will be given more focus for protection linked incentive scheme also. We have submitted the proposal to Government of India. This main focus will be on these new lines. So we already identified 65 lines, new lines, including existing one, and based on its market value and its potential. So it includes both existing lines and new lines. So our concentration will be on those lines. Thank you.
So traditionally, India didn't have the scale to match up to the American business. That's why the Chinese took over a lot of business. But industry also keeps calling for labor reforms. Unions are too powerful. So is that the issue, or is it about skill sets of Indian industry?
Let me handle the first part, and then I'll ask Selvam to come back on the second part. See, the scale of operations is something that most Indian manufacturers today are looking at, and I think effort is being done to take it to the next level in terms of numbers, in terms of capacities. Uh, this has needed more than anything else. It has needed a mindset change because sometimes we tend to become comfortable in the volumes we are doing, and don't want to take the risks of getting a little aggressive on the capacities. But I think I can see that most of the major players in the country today are looking at expansions, and it is already happening. And we are getting, we have the government support. I mean, we have the IFLDP scheme, which addresses some of the needs of these expansions. And then the government has also been making all kinds of other changes in terms of labor reforms and things. And I think Selvam is going to give us a few points on that.
Thank you, sir. As far as skilling is concerned, skilling is happening in a major way. I can say even after 2014, it is going in a very big way, skilling. There is National Skill Development Ministry and there is a National Skill Development Corporation, under which Leather Sector Skill Council has been created. So, which includes, which is run by all the industrialists based on the demand and people are getting skilled. Important skill training is given. If you look at IFLADP scheme that was implemented from 2017 to 2021, 2022 till March, around 450 crore was allotted for skilling alone. So the skilling was given by FDDI, Footwear Design and Development Institute, and the total amount allocated to 450 crore, and the target was 4.5 lakh people. So skilling happening in the institutes also, in the industry side also. That is one institute. Apart from that, Leather Sector Skill Council and the Central Footwear Training Institute. So all this and NFT, National Fashion Technology Institute. So all these institutes, they are giving skilling for various components. And Central Footwear Training Institute also issued a directory along with the Aadhaar number and contact number where the skilled manpower is available in the entire country. So it is not only one place, it's throughout India. The skilled manpower is available right now. That is one of the major force of attraction for FDI to come into India also. So skilling has been done in a very big way, and the next tranche of IFLADP also. Now Government of India has allocated around 1,700 crore. In that also one of the major component is skilling. So skilling is going in a very big way. So it is really supporting. Government is supporting in a very big way. Both Government of India and also state governments. We get a huge support from state governments also. Thank you.
Just to build on what you just said, FDI is very important, and that's the reason why many other countries, the growth of the industry has been kind of based on that. How about the FTAs?
FTA also now the current government gives lots of emphasis for FTAs. On that accounts, the recent FTA with UAE, it's a very big boost for leather and footwear sector, and especially marketing our products through Dubai. It's not only UAE. Through UAE we can market. So we can look at the African market. We look at the European Union market. So there is a huge potential to increase our volume and business through UAE. So this FTA, it will help in a very big way for us to market also, to source also. That is one issue. And another FTA is going on. It is in a negotiation. Morning also the joint secretary from the department indicated we are in the advanced stage for with UK. So that FTA, if it comes through, then leather and footwear sector get a huge milestone on this one. And Australia also it's on the way. So all these FTAs will strengthen and improve our business at the global level. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, sir. My question is pertaining to supply chain. So, what are some of the concentration and key sectors where dependency of the sector is very high?
I must explain you that the whole business, leather business, starts from the finished leather. And that is the core of our whole business, which constitutes 70% of every product, whether it is saddle, shoes, garment, bags, etc. Most important thing is a good leather makes a good bag, good shoes, good garments. Our whole focus should be to produce world class leather and so that our product will be world class. And we have been working all the time on that. In India, we use best of the chemicals from all over the world. Best trade practices are done in the tanneries. Most of our tanneries are LWG now. And most of our raw material has been taken care of in the best possible way under the animal welfare programs run by different states in India. So we are going towards a very sustainable leather product, and right now more of our focus in India is to produce high fashion leathers and to use our best raw materials, which is like example our goat skin, which comes from Bihar region and other regions, has the finest grain used for the ladies' palm shoes. Same way our baby buff calf is not available anywhere else in the world. That has a very distinct character and a very distinct grain pattern, which produces one of the best shoes, and Europeans love it. So we should focus on our strength. Thank you.
Since you spoke about sustainability, how is India faring in sustainability with respect to leather?
Thank you. Very good question. Because we have started, you see, few years back, taking care of our animals. Example, we don't move more than 4 animals in a one small truck. So that is animal welfare. We have been taking care of animal welfare. After that, we have started with the program of running our all CTPs, common effluent treatment plants, in the best possible way. Most of the places we even have zero discharge systems available. So our leathers. Then we are third thing we have introduced now is the tannage with the minimum water. So we use minimum water to produce our leathers, and whatever we use that has a zero discharge. In the end, we are using best trade practices, and we get certified as an LWG, which is a worldwide standard today for a good tannery sustainability. Towards sustainability, we are working and we have figures to prove that our leathers have minimum deforestation. We have no effect on our deforestation. In fact, our forestation has increased due to our animal welfare programs. So altogether, we are working, and every day we are becoming more and more going towards sustainable leathers. And we hope that very soon our leather will be more than world-class leather. We'll be one of the best in the world.
Thank you, sir. So, coming to you. Yes, sir. So, historically, India faces infrastructure challenges and its policies are unpredictable. So, what is the present status?
Thanks, Amit, first of all, for inviting us here. Congratulations to the team, DILEX, who has organized a wonderful buyer-sellers meet, and thanks to the government who's been supporting to get the buyers and getting the collaborations done between the suppliers and buyers together. Now, you ask a very good question. That question goes a long way. First of all, our leather industry has always been, from the last beginning or years together, run by the owners driven. So it's not a corporate industry still, and even the corporates who have ever been there, they are not been successful as much as the individually owned companies. Now, individually owned companies or the owner driven companies, they put their efforts from the morning hours till the late hours, development work, which they can sell, ideas which they have conceived from seeing around the world. Policies are the major issue always to them, because half of the day they are unpredictable. They're always in a worry. What will going to happen today? What will happen tomorrow? What will happen in the next 3 months or 1 year? So he or she or the owner, he is only on the firefighting spree to save his own company, to save his own people. He plans to make a certain product, but end up making the same old product, which end of the day again goes to a customer and is not been acceptable. So on those bases, the policies should be firm. One, for infrastructure to grow, and for infrastructure to grow, ease of doing business is the basic character and criteria to person to put his healthy mind, healthy energy, healthy ability, healthy acumen, healthy ways of developing a product, whether in a cost base or whether it's a design base or whether on the marketing base. So half of the time, his firefighting is on to know tomorrow what will going to happen with my policy. Like any day, first people get given certain things or incentives or whatever. Okay, it's gone. Certain things, he can't stop it all of a sudden. Because anybody coming from India, he feels India is free. Whoever is visiting India means same leather shoe he can buy out of Bangkok for $15. Same leather shoe he can buy from China for $25. Same leather shoe he can buy for Turkey for $30. Why India is asking for $10? What is there in it? Because Indians work on a different level they work on an emotional level. They still not become as a corporate. They still have not become on a calculation level. So infrastructure is one, can be organized if the policies are strict, final, long-term planning is done. Person can do a bigger business, a long-term business, if ease of doing business is healthy, so that he can put more energy in those 8 hours what he's been assigned to his factory. Third, he cannot go for development because I can't say that because I belong to the same industry. We have no at all development in our component industry at all. The moment we develop a product, we reach to, like say, be a change. To be a change and what you want to be a change and to show the world what you want to be. At the moment, India is the change. People would love to visit India. We are in the center of the world. People are watching us all over the world. But what change are we showing them? Infrastructure wise, capacity wise, ability wise, skill wise, finances wise, design wise. Every factory today is working on one product, men's shoes. World needs 60% is the ladies' shoes. Where are those high fashion ladies' shoes, my friend? Why can't we come in that? Because we don't have the product. We don't have the time with us. Because again, we have the time, but half of our time is wasted in our infrastructure and half the time is wasted in our policy matters and half the time wasted in all other industries.
I hope the government is listening to you.
Sure, they would.
Yes.
I'll go to some Hyde Park somewhere and I'll go shopping.
No, we certainly have a very dynamic ED. I'm sure he would pay attention to this. So, since you mentioned China, I believe post-COVID, China did get a little lashing to its business. What do you think we as an industry need to do to attract the business towards India?
We got to be very committed. One, that is the key issue. And to be committed, we got to have a very, very strong supply chain system. If those things are two winners, world will make their base in India. People are there who are looking to have the factory in India only. And next 10 years, you mark my words, whatever everybody will do collectively, India will be the factory for the world for sure. I can bet you today. Because the cheapest quality shoes in China are wading out. They're putting to Vietnam or Bangladesh or other smallest country or Cambodia or somewhere. They are coming with the high technology. And at the moment, very few companies in our country who are working on the high technology and products.
Right.
But once they achieve that also subsequently, I think Indian will have a base of all over the world. People will be sitting here developing.
No, I completely agree. So, as they say, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. So, I completely believe the industry has to move together for the long
Thank you
term.
so much.
Yes.
But slow and steady game is over now. You have to run super fast. You got to have a missile sitting at the back of the missile and run.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.